when you have an Aquarius Sun in the ninth house, Aquarians tend to just want to march to the beat of their own drum or do their own thing. It's that creative energy. You'll start to really look for options February, March, April, and then it almost feels like you'll land it somewhere in March, April, and then you'll be like, yes, this is my new business card. You'll own it a little bit more.
Oh my gosh.
Unexpectedly, I have found love since then. And along with that came the pop-up we would like to open. It's a Korean breakfast fusion restaurant.
Hello and a warm aloha. I'm Alice Inoue, guiding you through the interplay of astrology and real-life stories in following journeys. Are you curious about how the stars and planets impact our lives? Let's uncover these secrets together by charting the astrological routes of Hawaii's business minds using their birth details as our navigational tools. Join me in unraveling how celestial movements mirror our personal and professional evolution. The journey begins now.
Every single person on Earth was born on a certain day, at an exact time, and in a specific place. Using this information, we can create a map of the sky showing the planetary positions at the time of birth. This map, also known as a birth chart, shows information about the person and their life themes and cycles. Astrology has been used as a tool for guidance since ancient times, with civilizations looking to the stars for answers as far back as 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. Today, Alice uses this ancient wisdom to provide insights and clarity. Many people doubt that astrology is for real and readily dismiss it as a hoax. Can astrology really tell us things about ourselves and our life events? Is there some truth to the planets having an influence on our lives? Our episode today will invite you into a private session, allowing you unprecedented access to view the process by which a chart is delineated. You can decide for yourself if astrology is something to dismiss or if it's for real. Today's guest is Helen Lee Sabatini.
My name is Helen Sabatini. I am the owner of Edit Micropigmentation, and I am a cosmetic tattoo artist. It is not permanent in terms of it will fade a bit, but it's eyebrows, eyeliner, lips, and we also do even like paramedical, which means like hiding scars and blemishes as well. And we'll also do scalp micropigmentation, where we can add a little bit of fullness if you feel like you're losing a little bit of hair. So it's just helping and enhancing.
According to Helen's time, location, and day of birth, her sun is in Aquarius, her moon is in Capricorn, and she has a Gemini Rising. Aquarians are known for their creativity, innovative thinking, and vision, but they can also be aloof, detached, and distracted. Capricorn Moon individuals are responsible, ambitious, and resourceful. However, when off balance, they tend to be workaholics, materialistic, and bossy. Gemini Rising brings adaptability, curiosity, and expressiveness to the personality, but they can also be gossipy, indecisive, and inconsistent. Alice will spend time with Helen and share what she sees in her chart. Alice's reading style leans towards highlighting the positive aspects rather than pointing out negative features. By doing so, she helps individuals optimize their innate talents and potential. Let's see if Helen relates to Alice's depiction of her personality.
Helen, I'm so excited that I get to do your chart today. So I think one of the first things I noticed was the position of your sun is high. It's in the ninth house. And the ninth house is the house of travel, of learning, of sharing, of being really, really open. So I know it's one of the most open houses. And then you also know that you're an Aquarius, right?
Yes.
So when you have an Aquarius sun in the ninth house, Aquarians tend to just want to march to the beat of their own drum or do their own thing. It's that creative energy. So would you agree, just as a starting point, that you have an openness about you to be creative and different?
Yes,
I do.
You would see that, right? So that's like the first thing. So this is when someone has their sun in the ninth, they're just insatiable learners, being open to everything. Like when you see stuff, you're like, what? I want to know more. That plus your ascendant, which is the sign on the horizon when you're born, is Gemini. So Gemini is a super curious energy. So between your sun in the ninth and your Gemini rising, this is like question, curious.
So true. I go crazy into like researching things and want to know everything about whatever I'm looking up.
Right? It makes sense.
Yes.
So now I do have a question. When somebody has a Gemini rising, and also, I mean, not to confuse you, but your moon is in the 8th house, and the 8th house is the house of transformation and change. So can you say that you've worn multiple hats, juggled different careers, gone through transformations?
I have, most definitely.
So so I know that right now you're in the beauty industry. Can you talk me through a little bit about like what you did?
Beauty industry, but different hats, like you said. Originally, I was into art, then I got into hair first. So I was a color specialist, and then transitioned into cosmetic tattooing.
Oh, interesting.
And I still love the beauty industry, so maybe something evolving from that, looking forward, hopefully.
You have these two sides too. One is this traditional follow the rules. Maybe it's the rules of the culture, the rules of the game. You have this ability to kind of, and I'll use the word, there's a conservative side, but in the same coin on the other side, there's this break the rules, be open side. So how do you see this showing up in your life, in your personality?
It is because, growing up under a Korean mom, I feel like I have that structure and, like you said, the traditional, but then I also want to rebel a little bit and like change it up and explore more.
Yeah. So, okay. So I just want you to take a look at your chart. So notice how your moon is in Capricorn in the 8th house. So anyone that has their moon in the 8th house, this is almost like, I'm going to use the word, like a Scorpio energy. So Scorpios, and you might not have ever thought of yourself as a Scorpio because you know yourself as an Aquarian, you know yourself, your moon is in Capricorn, which is that hardworking side. I want to get to the top. And many times Capricorn energy is solo business owners. This part of our show is we interview entrepreneurs, and many times they have that sort of Capricorn energy in them.
Wow.
But yours has this, it has a flavor of a Scorpio. And so what is that? Scorpio is the sign, and a lot of people go, oh, Scorpio, that's like such a dark sign, right? But Scorpio is the ultimate in getting deep into something, transformation. So Scorpio is the master at transforming. So I think of you transforming from the before and the after, from not as attractive to more attractive, or whatever you want to call it, right?
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So this whole thing of rebirth, do you see like, is that, I guess what I'm saying is usually when you have this type of Scorpio energy, we tend to really resonate when we are able to take someone through a transformation.
I love that. That, like, it gets me so excited. Even as a child watching movies, I love the makeover movies. Got me so excited. I just like to see that and see the people becoming happier, right? More confident. Love that, yes.
Okay, so what's interesting too is in your 8th house, you also have Venus. Now, Venus is the planet that represents beauty and love and things that are valued, but it's art, beauty, anything to do with female types of things. So it's in the 8th house of transformation, plus your moon is there, meaning like whenever we look for what's going on with the moon, it's what do I feel like I want to do? What do I love to do? What am I connected to? So connected to beauty, because your moon and your Venus are very close to each other in the 8th house of transformation. So like if your mother was talking to me when you were just like 2 days old and says, what do you think about my Helen? What would you say? I would say, well, she's open. She's going to be different. She's going to break free from the crowd. She's not always going to do what you want her to do. But part of her journey is really to help people find beauty within themselves, and not just outward beauty. Would you agree that you also help people look for inner beauty as well?
Yeah, I mean, part of what I do is like we connect, we talk throughout the procedure. So you find out a lot about them and their family, and kind of being a little bit of a therapist as well, and listener. So
now your moon in Capricorn is the authority. So whatever you do, you'll become an authority at. So if you want to do, what are you doing now? What is it called? Micropigmentation.
Oh, micropigmentation,
right.
yes.
So now you do that, you're an authority at that. Whatever you've done, there's an ability to master. The 8th house is the house of mastery. So the ability to master it, go deep into it, and with the Capricorn, be an authority at it. So, in case you didn't already know this, you can pick up pretty much anything, learn it, and become a master at it. That's just how your chart is set up. And where I get that from is your sun in the ninth says, I'm willing to learn and be open. Your sun in Aquarius, that's the sign of Aquarius, is I'm willing to be creative and do things that other people haven't done. Your Gemini rising has everything to do with being able to be curious and get the details and juggle different ideas and put them together and create a business and transform.
Oh my God. That sounds better than what I'm doing. I mean, it sounds really amazing.
So I think, I just want to point out one more thing here. So in your chart, Mars is in your first house. So the first house is the beginning. And the beginning is the first to the gate, first out of the gate, like that impatience. I want to be the first, I want to do it. And it's very impulsive. And so with the planet of impulsiveness and drive in the house of impulsiveness and drive, where do you see this?
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, now that you say that, I feel I do have a competitive streak.
So if I was going to give you some archetypes to yourself, you have obviously the ruler, and the ruler is simply the ability to be your own boss. I mean, how long have you had your business?
20 years,
right?
Yeah.
So your Aquarian nature is like, I don't want to work for anyone else. I want to do my own thing. Your moon in the 8th house is the rebel house. So you also are a rebel in so many ways. I mean, geez, you were born with black hair, and what color hair do you have? Right. So you definitely have this ability to go through metamorphosis. Question, has your hair been different colors?
Oh my God, yes, on the gamut. I just want to try everything. There was a point where it was so crazy that my mother would be like, listen, I can't even walk with you on the sidewalk. You need to walk across the street because I'm so embarrassed my friends see us together. That's how bad it was. But I was like, I love it, I'm gonna rock it.
Yeah. That ability to stand apart. So you have the ruler, which is, I'm going to be my own authority, right? Even if the culture is different or our parents are different, this is ability. And it also is the maturity. Did you find that you had to act more like an adult when you were younger? Anything like that, just out of curiosity?
I did. I had to grow up quickly. I was, latchkey kid growing up, so home alone a lot. And then I have a baby sister that was born when I was 11. So kind of like in a way, a mother figure to her, trying to partly raise her as well.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, I can see that because a lot of times when we come with any sort of, whether it's a Saturn energy or Capricorn energy or what I call a 10th house energy, we tend to have to grow up quickly. We tend to be an adult at a very young age. And so that totally makes sense. So you have the ruler, you have the outlaw, which is breaking rules. You have the creator, which is what you do. I mean, creating. And you also have the sage, which is knowledge, wisdom, that you've gained over the years. And whenever someone has sage energy, they're more than happy to share that wisdom with others. Do you find that to be true?
I do. I teach cosmetic tattooing.
Oh, yes.
But I mean, even if I'm not doing it like a lesson, I always, like to just share a lot of things. And even with clients, I like to educate them and what they're receiving.
Yeah, because the 9th house is the house of the teacher. So it's natural that you would be a teacher / business owner, but doing it my own way. Yeah.
Fantastic. Wow. That's a lot. I did not realize all of that.
Do you see yourself in that?
Yes, I do. But I was like, wow.
The birth chart is basically a picture of the sky at the moment of birth, and as you just saw, can be translated to show the traits and characteristics of an individual. After we are born, though, the planets continue to transit the solar system. As they do, they make contact with various aspects of our birth charts. Alice will now go back in time and see if Helen's chart timing correlates with past events in her life. Doing so will help Alice also confirm if her birth time is accurate.
Okay, so what you're looking at looks like a bunch of Greek, but what it really is, it's just a time track for me to see, like, from when you were born, where were the planets and how did they impact you? And they give me a little bit of a hint of where you've been. So I'm just going to pick out just a few years. If you don't remember, it's okay. So I'm just scrolling through. I'm looking for something that really catches my eye. Okay, here, the year 2000. So what I'm looking at here is in the year, basically the year 2000, Uranus the planet of change and creativity crossed the top of your chart, which is your midheaven, which is your career. There is also some relationships, some stepping up to the plate. What happened in the year 2000 for you?
The year 2000, we had moved into a brand new salon, and I had taken my transition from assistant to actually being on the floor. So that was pivotal. Yes, that was a huge
This is like
point in my
stepping
life.
up.
Yes.
So the next thing I would want to ask you about is 2005 into 2006. How did your life change? What happened? You turned a corner somewhere?
That was huge. I had just gotten back from Korea and opened my very first salon of my own. Wow, yes.
Yes, because what shows is this June 11th, 2005, this moon hits the sun. That's considered a new moon. You had your Saturn return, which is you're about, 27, 28 or something,
Yes,
stepping
right.
up.
Yep.
And then I see moon crossing the 10th. So that just simply means that somehow you've summited in your career, in your business. So that makes total sense.
Oh my
to me.
goodness. Okay.
Super cool. Let's just see if I can
Okay.
catch another one here that might be. Okay. So 2013, you had a Pluto conjunct moon. So this is like, oh my God, Christmas Day on 2013. But it doesn't mean it happens that day. This is all, it happens over a period. So I would say 2013 into 2014, what kind of transformations did you go through?
Oh, I sold the salon and then made the transition to a new location, new building, everything. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Yes, that was
totally-
big for me because I had that place for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And it should have represented like a rebirth in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Right.
Yeah. Was it upscale, more
It was
upscale?
upscale. Definitely.
Yeah, because you're shedding the old and stepping up onto a new platform, and I usually call it a new business card, right? So you had a new address,
Oh
new
my
business
God.
card.
Yes.
Oftentimes people change the branding. I don't know if you did.
I
that
did.
at
I
that time.
changed the whole name, everything.
Oh, the name too.
Yes.
Yeah. So you basically are peeling the old, stepping up into the new.
In the next segment, Alice will forecast Helen's future themes using a unique energy calendar she created. This visual tool maps out the timing of key themes over the coming months and years. Each line or block of color on the calendar represents a different planetary influence. Pink forecasts potential changes, blue highlights periods of support and opportunity, and green lines denote a variety of other themes. Let's see what Helen's future has in store for her.
Let me give you an overview of what I found, and then I'm going to go into some detail. As you can see, we're looking at an energy calendar that I created for you, and it looks like there's a lot going on. But let me just kind of ask you a few questions to get on the same page here. So starting right around March of this year, Uranus, the planet of change and creativity, it hit your midheaven, which is your career. So my question to you is, did you start to feel almost like you needed to make a change? And I know that you're doing what you're doing, but was there, because you're not through this energy yet, it's going to go all the way until next April. So for about a year, you're in this theme of, I need to make a change. Is there anything like that going on in your head or your business?
Absolutely. Yes, for sure. I've been doing it, like I said, for about 20 years. So now I feel like I love what I do, but I am feeling like a craving to do something different and new.
Yeah, because the planet Uranus rules change, it rules innovation, it rules something different. It also rules freedom and breaking free from. So even though you have this love of the beauty industry, you've been in it so long, I've often seen people when they have like a Uranus hit, they completely like let go of what they've done, or they add on something that's completely different and new. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but I just wanted to see if you were resonating with that.
Yes, 100%.
It almost feels like a restlessness where I need to break free from what I'm doing. I need to reinvent myself in some way.
Yes.
So you're tired of something and you're ready for something new.
I am. I've been thinking about that.
Great news, because it's happening for you.
God, yes.
So that's the one thing that I did want to share. And I did want to give you a heads up, because if you are feeling that, the way that the themes are converging is in the first quarter of 2023, you will start to kind of get to a point where, and we can talk a little bit too about it, whatever ideas you might have already, because by now, do you have any ideas of what you might want to do other than what you're doing in your beauty industry? Has any ideas popped up?
A bit. I'm kind of just thinking about different things like product lines, and you know, a lot of clients come to me and ask about, you know, beauty things and how to anti-aging, and traveling to Korea is a main thing for them. So something along those lines, perhaps. You know, with travel and, like you said, my house, the 9th.
So here we are. So 9th house, the house of travel. International, and 9th house is also international house. So obviously you have, are you bilingual?
Yes, I am.
So you have a Gemini rising. Gemini is the sign of communication. And remember how I said like Gemini twin? So oftentimes people with Gemini rising speak multiple languages, or they have multiple talents, or they do multiple things. So it would be really likely for you to sort of tap into that, because if you speak Korean, right, and then your 9th house, in the 9th house where your sun is, that's the house of travel, it's the house of culture. So reinventing yourself that way totally makes sense to me. Okay, so let's just kind of go through this. The pink is what I'm going to spend the most time talking about. And this is just a timeline of where we are today, moving into the future. And you have a couple of pretty significant themes here that I think you will start to see play out as we move into 2023. So let's start with this first one. You see energy 1, this pink line here. It started late last year, so basically from this year. Pluto opposed Saturn. What does that mean? Pluto, planet of transformation, goodbye to the old, hello to the new. So Pluto comes along and he kind of makes you feel like, I need to renovate, I need to change, I need to let something go. Something is getting old, or it's getting tired, right? So there's that. And then it's opposing Saturn, which is the structure. So this is sort of like, okay, this year it would be very likely that you started thinking, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to reinvent? How do I need to like rework that structure of my life, right? And Saturn oftentimes represents our business as well. So there's already an influence from early this year. And then March comes along, and I put a little star here under energy 2, this pink one, because it's Uranus says it's time to change. It's time to get creative and innovate and do something different. You can still take what you're doing and parlaying it into something else, taking your existing talents and moving into a new way. So you see how it peaks. There are 2 arrows line up right here in December, January. So I really think even over the next month or 2, if you haven't done anything further with this idea you'll feel that need to do it. So how far are you along with that idea about the beauty and the travel?
I'm kind of, like how you said, just started up a website, and I just took a trip to do some research, and right there, just wanting to gather more and more interest as well.
So what's the vision for this business?
You know, because travel opened up again.
Yes.
A lot of clients interested in, especially now with the interest with Korean dramas, pop, all of that, and the skin. So perhaps doing some itineraries for clients, or even maybe accompanying them over there as well. I mean, I'm kind of open to all of it, and just would like to help people achieve what they, their best selves. Okay,
so knowing that, you see how the peak is here in December, January. So you said you have a website and you just went and did some research. So now you see how the second peak happens right here in early March, right? So this is the final to this need to change, to parlay, to like sort of like break free and move up into something. And notice how it kind of matches. You see this energy 16. I drew a little compass, north, south, east, west, with a little question mark. And this is the moon is in contact with the moon in your chart. So usually this means you are turning a corner. You are stepping into a new path. And so it's like, you'll get to about January, February, and you'll ask yourself, you'll have all these options. Do I do this? Do I do that? North, south, east, west. So you'll question, and then you'll land into something, because you see how this March time period really seems to be highlighted here with all these arrows. March, April. So if I were to talk to you at that time, you would be telling me, Alice, remember when I was on the show and I told you that I had this idea? You would have it much more gelled, I'm guessing, if that is something that you continue to move forward with. So I would say if that's really calling to you, that's actually a really great way to use your existing energies.
That is so exciting. Wow, to actually see it here like that.
What I do know is whatever decisions you make in March, April, you see all these blue lines, it kind of stair steps forward. Blue, in the way I draw this, represents just represents opportunity and where things flow for you. So while you do have a nice flow right now, you see how it all peaks in May, and then all of a sudden all of this blue starts coming out. So you're going to start to see the decisions that you make in February, March, April will be supported as you move forward. And you know how that's like, you start a new business, you start a new idea, you don't know, do people want it, do they not want it? So this really does show that whatever you commit to, you'll probably be really pleasantly surprised at how things unfold. I mean, energy 6 and 7 all have to do with Neptune and vision. So the vision that you have, like you might have talked about it with your friends or with people, like, I have this vision, I can see this happening, but nothing's happening now, so it's hard to like trust that that is really going to happen, right?
Exactly.
So, but this is like, oh, your vision now starts to come into reality, very strong. Your mental acuity is sharp, energy 8, opportunities, unexpected opportunities come. And I put a little star by energy 9 because I star the ones that are, to me, are powerful. So energy 9 starts up in April, and notice how it goes all the way to March of 2026. Jupiter, the planet of abundance, the Santa Claus planet, is influencing your sun, and your sun is in the 9th house of travel and culture. So this really is great, Helen, for
gosh.
thing that you want to do, this business, because then we get to May, June, July, Jupiter crosses the ascendant. It's another new cycle of luck. I just know that whatever you've been experiencing up until this point and all the uncertainty that you have, there's creative ideas, but you said you started a website, so the website is there, but to really get into making it a business, right? We need to have clients, we need to have marketing, we need to have this. And so if that is something that you want to do, I really think that don't beat yourself up if you do nothing in November, but December, January, you'll take the bull by the horns. You'll start to really look for options, February, March, April, and then it almost feels like you'll land it somewhere in March, April, and then you'll be like, yes, this is my new business card. You'll own it a little bit more.
Oh my gosh. See, I was all in my head before this, like wondering and just being kind of insecure about it all, you know, because I've been so steady here.
Yeah.
But seeing this, I feel so much more support to like do that and make the jump. Wow, thank you so much.
No, because I think what happens, Helen, is like, you've been in your industry for so long, so really, you know hair, you know people, you know beauty, you know this, and to step outside of that and be like, I want to use what I know, but in a complete different way, it can feel almost flimsy.
Exactly.
Like, how is this going to even happen?
Yes.
So what I want you to do is sort of trust in the energy, or trust in the theme, just like how we look back and you had started your salon, and we look back and you had moved, like all of these things. Basically, you didn't know your chart, right? Back then, you just sort of felt it, you did it, opportunities came, you stepped up. So it's kind of the same way. And I think that,
thank you.
I think you'll really, February, March is where it's all gonna start to come together. All that being said, any feedback, any questions, anything that I didn't touch upon that you're interested in?
No, I mean, I've gotten much more than I expected. So that's a lot to kind of, you know, go home and think about. Process and kind of just be, I love it all. Thank you. I'm excited.
Good, thank you.
Thank you so much.
More than half a year has passed since Alice gave Helen her reading and predicted some events for her. Let's catch up with Helen and see if anything that Alice had forecasted for her has come to pass.
Growing up Jehovah's Witness, it was a very strict lifestyle. And so even looking at an astrology book was really taboo. So when I was approached for the Following Journey show and in regards to what it was, I was a little nervous about it. But after meeting with Alice and going through the dates, all the personality, all of those facts, and it was undeniable. I mean, especially knowing and seeing all the things that have happened since then. The things that had surprised me, that Alice had told me, is that I would be doing something completely different, because I had been doing cosmetic tattooing for at least 20 years. So I couldn't see myself doing anything else. Oh my gosh, since that time, things that have changed, there's been so many things. I have had 2 new businesses opening. I had started Kaja With Me, which is the tours with the beauty industry, taking clients over from Hawaii to Korea to get services done. Not only services, but eating, shopping, spa services. With Kaja With Me, everybody here in Hawaii, I feel like, is into K-dramas. They are into the K-beauty, K-pop. So I feel like there's a huge interest over there. So I'll be guiding them to the different locations and to see certain technicians and translating for them and just helping them through. And since then, it has really taken off. I've gotten many, many inquiries. I have, in fact, 2 groups booked in. Unexpectedly, I have found love since then, which was an amazing, very nice surprise. I did not expect that at all. And along with that came the pop-up we would like to open. It's a Korean breakfast fusion restaurant. It's going to be called Morning Feed. And so I hope people will enjoy it.
Like Korean culture, being in Hawaii, there's a lot of Asians here, including Koreans, and everybody loves Korean food. We had there was a lack of that for breakfast, though. Incorporating it into our menu was important to us, and we thought that people might enjoy it. We have a good morning burrito, and in that we have the ribeye and kimchi hash browns, and Oaxacan cheese and egg. And in the waffle bob, which is our second most popular, it's a kimchi fried rice with scrambled eggs, nori, and corned beef, and that's pressed into a waffle maker.
It was like a slow moving thing, and then now it's kind of a whirlwind and quite exciting. So even more exciting because after the reading, I felt like it just came into my mind every time something would happen or a seed would happen. It'd be like, oh my God, this is what Alice said. This is what Following Journeys was about. And it's just really surreal, and I really have been enjoying it much more. I would never have done this on my own. So in line with finding love and finding a love of food. So it just kind of came together where we decided to do it. So we'd love to give it a try. And I would love to see other things come from, after the reading. Other businesses perhaps, who knows? The sky's the limit.
As the constellations continue their celestial dance, I hope today's insights have brought a spark of inspiration to your journey. I'm Alice Inoue, sending my best wishes until we meet again. Stay curious, stay inspired, and remember, aloha until our next cosmic rendezvous.